A few years ago, I completed a mud run that was very tough. I have the t-shirt, a medal and the headband to prove it. Now, I could not have finished this without my incredible teammates. There were literally times where they were yanking me up by the arms to get over an obstacle. But there was one challenge that I had to do for myself. It was the one leading up to the event that I feared the most. But even though my personality is very risk averse, I determined I wouldn't skip any of the obstacles. So this challenge was called King of the Swingers. You physically have to take a leap of faith from a massive scaff tower about 10 or 15 feet, it felt more like 100 foot, above freezing cold water. Now, there's a trapeze swing which you leap off and then you grab and you sound a cowbell before plummeting into the water. I looked up at this trapeze and my legs had turned to jelly. I am no good with heights at all, but this fear had to be conquered. So my teammates were to the right and the left of me, and we were in like a cattle holding pen, so they couldn't reach me. I was all on my own. Now, I'd love to say that I took that leap of faith and rang that bell loud with the wind in my hair and rock music in the background, but no, it was extremely unimpressive. I was so scared. I had to actually pick my leg up with my own hands to get it to move off the platform. And I sort of just flopped into the water below. It was ungraceful, it was messy, and there was absolutely no finesse. I looked ridiculous. But as I swam the 10 foot in the freezing water, I was elated. I'd done it. Now, our journey to faith might be messy. It might be unimpressive. Your leap to faith may look like my jumping off that obstacle. Brennan Manning has written several books. One, The Ragamuffin Gospel, another, The Furious Longing of God. He's been a priest, he's been married, he's been a lecturer, he's been an alcoholic. He's worked in the rubbish piles of Mexico, helping the children that live there. He writes honestly that he is a messy work, but that Jesus came not only for those that skip morning meditations, but also for real sinners, for thieves, adulterers and terrorists, for those caught up in the squalid choices and failed dreams. Jesus says himself in Matthew 9:13, I didn't come to invite good people to be my followers. I came to invite sinners. Jesus came for the messy, the broken, the ones that might go to a church and not get it quite right. Now, I know standing at the top of that scaffold tower, waiting to jump in, that I could have turned around and walked back down the stairs. I don't want to make a fool of myself in front of all these people. Others did turn back and I didn't blame them. But I am so glad that I didn't let the fear of not doing it perfectly or social media worthy rule me out that day. What I loved about the event was that someone who was absolutely useless at PE could come and join in. As I said, my teammates were fantastic and I could admire those who had obviously been training for this their whole life, but I didn't have to compare myself. I didn't have the current fitness wear or the best trainers, and I most certainly did not look like I was enjoying myself the whole time. I was red-faced, I was sweaty and exhausted. But this is exactly how we can come to faith in Jesus. We may have an idea of what it means to be a Christian and think we missed the mark. We might think that we don't have the right clothes or know what to say. Our legs may physically shake the first time we ask someone about faith. We might use the wrong words, not know the songs, haven't a clue how to pray. But let this encourage you to go and explore faith. If you've never prayed to God, give it a go. If you've never been to a church, give it a go. If you've never picked up the Bible, give it a go. It doesn't matter if you have no clue what you're doing. Look for the book of John. It's in the second part of the Bible called the New Testament. And John speaks plainly about who Jesus is. The wonderful thing about Jesus is that we can approach him just as we are, messy, broken, arrogant, proud, rogue or saint. The remarkable thing about Jesus is he doesn't leave us like we are. So we can see this in his disciples, the people that he chose as his teammates. They were a totally mixed bunch. Some were educated, others fishermen, some full of faith and ready for anything. Others were quieter and doubting. They argued with one another. They misunderstood Jesus many times. They panicked when Jesus was calm. They ran away when Jesus was crucified. But they were messy. But Jesus had picked them on purpose. He chose them to be closest to him. Because of these messy disciples, the good news of Jesus was spread far and wide. Because of them, I know about Jesus today. You know, in Hebrews 4:15-16, it says, "For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who in every respect has been tempted as we are, yet without sin. Let us then with confidence draw near to the throne of grace, that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in time of need." So grab your shaking leg and take another step towards faith. You don't have to clean your mess up before you come to Jesus. That's what he loves to do. You know, I got a medal and a t-shirt, but with a leap of faith, you can receive mercy and grace.